Hello guys, hope you all are doing well. So this will be the part 2 of classes in Python. So this is going to be much more interesting than the first part, I assure you that. So let's get into it. Okay. So let's do like a very small recap of what we learned in the first class. So in the first class we had class menu item as our example, right? Okay. Then, as I mentioned before, whenever we are defining a function inside a class, it should have the argument self, alright? Self. So now if I may just put something like food over here, and I can be like print I like, then I can just leave some space and write food. So now what do I want food to be? I can just say menu item dot food, then the argument, first thing the class inside which your function is there, then food. I'm just gonna give food as cake for now. Alright, so it should print out I like cake. Let's see. There you go, it prints out I like cake. So yeah, so this is the basic stuff we learned in the first video. So now we'll be learning something about dunder methods. So for those of you who don't know what dunder methods are, it's basically anything which begins and ends with two underscores. So what I mean by that is, if I do something like this is called a dunder method, alright, because it begins and ends with two underscores. So now, this can be used for various things in Python actually, especially in the class scenario. So I'm just going to put self here. So look, now if I print hello, I am feeling great, alright. I suck at typing. Anyways, now I can, instead of I could just do something like menu item. So I don't need to give the argument self, alright, because this is the dunder method, so there is no need for me giving the argument, and there you go, it prints out the output. But if I did this without the dunder method, say for example I gave the old name food, it won't work, right? It'll give me so many errors. Let's see, and there you go, it gives me no output at all, alright, because I called the class but I didn't say what to do after that. Now if I give dot food here, still it won't work, still it will give me an error saying you are supposed to mention the argument self. Yeah, there you go. So to prevent all this, basically we use the init, something like this. So yeah, this saves us the trouble of doing that. And there you go, it says hello, I'm feeling great. Okay, now we could give arguments inside this dunder method. So let's see, I could just put something called name, alright. So if I print menu item, call menu item, then for name, okay, let's say hello name, then let's do this. Okay, so for example we put name as Jake, it will be like hello Jake, I am feeling well, right? Let's see. Oh, it should be inside strings. Okay, let's see if it prints out hello my name is Jake. Hopefully it does, and there you go, it says hello Jake, I am feeling great. So yeah, this is basically how it works. So there is also one more thing you could do with this. Let's say, one sec. Okay. Basically, right, let's say you want to do something like I want to print out menu item. Okay, if I wanted to print a certain name from menu item, so if I just do something like, if I put the name as Jake, it ain't gonna work, right? Because our function ain't doing anything. So if I try to do this, it will give me an error, right? There you go, it says unexpected indent block. Yeah, so how do you prevent this from happening? So the thing you can do is, you can just do something like, you could tell the function as you're giving the name as name. So I could do something like self.name equals name. Alright, so if I save this and run it, now it should work. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean for that to happen. I could do .name here. Okay, now it should work. There you go, it prints out Jake. So let me just explain what happened here. When I called menu item, well, like, just leave this part for now, alright? So when I call menu item so and so dot name, it will go to menu item and search for name, alright? It actually goes to the function because it's double underscore in it, alright? So it will go to the function. Then it sees that argument self is given, which basically means the own class inside which the function is, and the name is given, right? Okay, so in this I put name as Jake, so this is the argument required, and then I put self.name equals name. So why did I do that? I did that because if I don't do it, if I just put menu item like Jake inside strings dot name, it won't work, right? Because name is along with self, and if you want it to like know that you want name separately, like what I mean is, if I remove this and try, it should not work. And let's see, and there you go, it keeps on saying unexpected. Okay, let me just put pause here so you guys get the idea. Now it should work. There you go, it says it has no attribute name because like we didn't define what name is, right? But if I put self.name equals name, then it knows that. So if I put self.name equals name, it knows that it should go back to self, which is the own function inside the class menu item, and it should go to self and it should find the name. So in this case, name is Jake. So if I do menu item Jake.name, it will print out Jake. Alright, so yeah. Now if this is a bit too confusing for you, you could just use some shortcut, like let's say I put the variable menu equals to menu item, then inside this I could put my stuff. I put Jake inside this, so I could just do something like menu.jake. So like this makes the code a bit more good and like a bit more pleasant to look at per se. There you go, it prints out Jake. So now let's see. Now let me just try one fun experiment. Let's say I remove this. So if you guys are wondering, like if we could just put self.name along with this instead of keeping the variable name, right? So like let's see if that works. Put pause for this function. It should not work. .self.name. Let's see if this works. I don't think it will work. Let's see. And there you go, it has no attribute self because we are putting this outside the function, right? So it doesn't recognize self outside the function. So you're supposed to put self.name equals name inside the function itself for it to go back to the function and fetch the thing you're looking for. So in this case it's name, that's Jake. So that's it for this video, guys. I know it's it might be a bit complex, but please try to understand and stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.